believe that he was a man of God, a true man, a minister. But I come to find out, Your Honor, he's a wolf in sheep clothing.
After a few hours on a prayer line and a one-way cross-country bus ride, Roby Minix and Anjenette Hodges stood at the altar and exchanged vows of forever. But only 8 days after saying I do, their hopes for happily ever after vanished into thin air.
Now wait a minute. Did he ask you to marry him before or after he told you he had to go to the crack house?
He asked me to marry him while he was living in the crack house.
First of all, she a hood rat minister. That's the only way that I can put it.
The love line has gone dead for Anjenette and Roby.
He's a womanizer.
I'm trying to get rid of you.
Today on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Anjenette Hodges and Roby Minix. The two of you have been married for 6 months. However, you separated after 8 days. As far as I can tell, both of you believed you were conned into marriage by the other one. That's as close as I can get. And we'll see if we can resolve, who took advantage of whom. Mrs. Hodges, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why you think you got hoodwinked?
Your Honor, the Bible says in Matthew 7 and 15, beware of false prophets coming to you in sheep clothing, but within inwardly they are ravening wolves. This man led me to believe that when he said he loved me, he really loved me. This man led me to believe that when he asked me for his hand in marriage, it was going to last forever.
I ain't asking for a
This
hand.
man led me to believe, Your Honor, that he told me everything about himself. This man led me to believe that he was a man of God, a true man, a minister. But I come to find out, Your Honor, he's a wolf in sheep clothing.
And let the entire church say amen. Mr. Minix, I am going to get to you. I promise. Before I do, I'm going to ask you how you met him. How'd you get together? So how do you think you were hoodwinked?
Your Honor, I'm an apostle. I started a prayer line. I met Roby on the prayer line. I ended up ministering to Roby for over a year and a half. Your Honor, after all that happened, I found out later that he was homeless. He called me and told me about him being homeless. This was around November and December, Your Honor. And what happened? He tells me that, the only place he could go was in a crack house. So, Your Honor, I ministered to this man.
That's true.
The whole time, ministered to him. During the conversation, Your Honor, it led into him saying he had feelings for me. It led into him asking to marry me, Your Honor.
I ain't never asked you to marry me.
Now, wait a minute. Did he ask you to marry him before or after he told you he had to go to the crack house?
He asked me to marry him while he was living in the crack house.
Mr. Minix?
That's a lie.
Mr. Minix, it's all you. Why don't you respond to the allegations Mrs. Hodges has made so far?
First of all, she a hood rat minister. That's the only way that I can put it. She talk loud. She a hood rat. She a hood rat. That's how they talk. They want attention. So that's the bottom line of the whole situation. But I still continue to participate in the prayer line because I felt that she knew what she was talking about.
When did this thing turn romantic?
After I got to Richmond, Virginia.
Now, where were you living when you started?
I was in Beaumont.
You were
I was living in Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont, Texas.
She texted me. You know, and I had just fell into a homeless status on that day. So she texted me and asked me how was I doing. And I texted her back, well, not too good. So I feel like that was a sign from God that he sent her, you know, a message saying, well, you need to check on your sheep. You know what I mean?
You thought,
so,
yeah,
right.
The Lord was at work by getting her to send you a text right when you fell homeless.
Right. So I texted her back and said, not good. And it wasn't good. So then she called me. And we talked and I explained to her my situation. And she said, well, look, they got a lot of work up here in Richmond. Why don't you just go and come up here? I'm not going to let you be homeless. I was like, all right, then cool. But I ain't got no money to get out there. Of course, she wired me some money, $100 to get up there. And I pulled I pulled up my portion to get up there.
When divorce court continues, Anjenette's outrageous allegations against Roby.
1, the bail being out on bond. He wasn't supposed to be in Virginia. The second thing was he was on crack.
Your mama warned you not to marry your mate. If you're ready to admit that she was right and divorce is your best option, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Anjenette Hodges, who claims her husband Roby swindled her into marrying him. But Roby says it was he who finally came out of the dark.
And then here come me, like a daggone fool. See, they saw the light before I saw it. I didn't even see the light until after I married.
Miss Hodges, let me get this part straight. You say that you went from prayer line ministry to him proposing to you.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that makes a whole lot of sense to me. Because at some point there had to be a romantic something going on. It sounds more likely that he fell homeless, you said I can find you a job and go. What do you say actually happened? When did the proposal come? And was it like out of the blue? Hey.
Your Honor, he proposed to me in December. In December, he figured I was a good woman for him because I've been there for him. He even wrote me on social media telling me how he felt about me, Your Honor. I was there for him, yes. But he knew also that I was a woman of God, and he knew that I desired a husband, Your Honor. So he played his little game. Your Honor, even on social media, someone came to me, a relative, after we got married and stated, I hope Roby is not playing his games. I hope he's dealing with his demons. I hope he has dealt with everything that he's running away from. Your Honor, I asked him, what is this person talking about? And you know what, Your Honor? After we got married, he tells me, well, it's some little things that I didn't tell you about me. Little things, and Your Honor, the little things was 1, the bail being out on bond. He wasn't supposed to be in Virginia. The second thing was he was on crack.
That's a lie.
He admitted it to me, Your Honor.
That's a lie.
Now, Mr. Minix, you believe that she had actually conned you, and you found out, I understand, that she had been engaged to 2 other guys that she had found on the chat line.
Right.
Why don't you explain that to me?
All right.
Liar.
We on the prayer line. This the first guy. Oh, the Lord then finally answered my prayers, and he's sent me a godly man, and he's a prophet or this, that, and the other. So they didn't work out. So right after they didn't work out, she dogging his name out on the prayer line. Man number 2.
1.
Same thing. Oh, Lord, the Lord done blessed me with another man. Okay, we happy for you. We praising God for you, and this and that and that and the other. And all of a sudden, that one didn't work out. So then she started dogging his name out on the prayer line. And then here come me, like a daggone fool, and marry her. See, they saw the light before I saw it. I didn't even see the light until after I married her. So now I'm tied up into her, you know, so I'm going to be honest with you. I say, okay, you know what? She's a nice looking woman. I'm going to try to make it work. You know, I'm going to go and keep it real.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Minix. What caused you to marry her? Because it
I was
doesn't
stuck.
seem that you had any romantic feelings for her.
I was stuck, and I felt like I can grow with her. You know what I mean?
You learned a lot.
Right. I felt like I could grow, but
How you
I ain't had
know
no
to
way
love
back
somebody?
to Texas. We in the hood. She stayed on top of a thrift store that she ran for her pastor. That's where all that came from.
Was the thrift store
Yeah.
that she lived on top of.
Yeah.
So you had gotten all the way out there to Virginia.
And I
You
was
didn't
stuck.
have any money. You
Yeah.
didn't have a job. You were
Right.
stuck. So, let me marry this woman.
Yeah, let me go on.
Use her.
Yeah, let me go
Use
on.
her because he a
Use her for
womanizer.
what?
When divorce court continues, has Roby moved on before the ink on his divorce papers has dried?
Right now, this man is living with the woman, telling her that he's gonna marry her while he's already married to me.
Do you think Roby ever really truly loved Anjenette? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @DivorceCourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Roby Minix, who claims his wife Anjenette used her prayer line to get dates with single Christian men. But did Anjenette set Roby up on a date through the mean streets of Richmond?
You say that when she kicked you out, this good Christian over here actually made you walk 6 miles
Through
to
the
the
snow.
station. Let me ask, Ms. Hodges, were you using the chat line? And I'm not questioning your face, because I got no business doing that. Don't know what's in your heart. Can't even go there. But were you trying to reel a brother in on the chat line? I mean,
No.
were you looking for a husband and you found a guy that sounded good on the phone and you would try to just bring him on in?
No, Your Honor,
That's what
on
it
the
was.
chat line, it was only one man, and that was him. I have a clip of the wedding. If this man didn't propose to me, Your Honor,
How'd
then
this
why
happen?
did he make these vows, not only before me, before family members and God? I have a clip. Can we show that clip?
Absolutely.
I, Roby Lee Minix Jr.
Take thee, you can face her,
Take Anjenette Michelle Hodges
to be my lawful wife,
to be my lawful wife,
to love,
to love,
to cherish,
to cherish,
to honor,
to honor,
to keep, in sickness
in sickness
and in health,
and in health,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Your Honor,
You smiling and beautiful like a bride should be. Mr. Minix, you look like you were testifying in court.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
How long were you guys in each other's physical presence before you got married? Between the time you
That was
moved,
the first time.
you
was
moved
the
to
first
Virginia
2
That was,
weeks.
that was the first time.
in 2 weeks and you
Yep.
got married.
Because we wanted to be right in the eyes of God. And right now, this man is living with a woman, telling her that he's gonna marry her while he's already married to me. He's a womanizer.
I'm trying to get
Come
rid
to
of you.
find out, a
Trying to get
relative
rid
told
of
me.
you. You should have done
Come-
enough
Mr.
in the first
Minix,
place.
Mr. Minix, I'm gonna get to you. Go ahead.
Come to find out, a relative told me, Your Honor, that he had 4 women, 4 different women in the same year.
Really?
In 1 year, Your Honor.
Really?
Okay, now, Mr. Minix,
That's a lie.
Mr. Minix, let me ask you this: are you now, in fact, living with another woman,
Right.
and are you engaged to get married again?
Right.
There you go.
And,
Right.
and do
The
you
wolf.
see women just a bit as a vehicle
sheep
to,
clothing.
No,
to
not at all.
remain
Not at all.
secure?
She saw me as her vehicle. That's what that was. I don't see women as a vehicle.
he was broke. He
Ma-
came to
hang
me
on,
with
Mr.
nothing.
She offered
Mrs.
me. I
Hodges.
didn't ask her to come out there.
Hey,
I didn't ask her to
Hey.
come out there.
are you in love with this other woman?
Yes, I am. Very much
No,
so.
you're not.
How long have you known her?
About a year.
About a year. Does she know about all the
She know
background?
about everything.
She knows about Ms.
Everything.
Hodges. She knows everything.
Everything.
So she's just waiting for you to clean it up,
That's it.
and you gonna run down the aisle with her.
That's right.
You say that when she kicked you out, This good Christian over here actually made you walk 6 miles
Through
to
the
the
snow.
station.
Through the,
T-
she
tell
wouldn't
me
even.
about
She
that.
wouldn't even let me take a shower. She wouldn't let me fill up my water bottles. I had over 200 pounds worth of luggage. I had to walk almost 6 miles. Now we in the hood. It's nighttime. I'm going through the snow in Richmond, Virginia.
You
I could have got
deserved it.
killed.
You
I
fraud.
could have got killed out there. Then she got the nerves. While I'm on the bus, finally, she got the nerves to text me, "Are you okay?" Hell no, I ain't okay.
I never text you. You a liar.
Hell no, I ain't okay.
I didn't even want to talk to you.
When divorce court continues, what moves Roby to drop his counterclaim against Anjenette?
You are seeking $355 for a bus ticket.
You know what, Your Honor? I don't even want it. I don't want it. I just want to get this out. I just want to get this out the
You
way.
don't deserve it.
Do you think Roby ever really truly loved Anjenette? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
Divorce court returns with the case of Anjenette Hodges and Roby Minix, who separated after only 8 days of marriage.
Why don't you tell me about the money you want, Ms. Hodges? You're seeking, not much, $495. You want your wedding decorations reimbursed,
wait to get on
your
that.
wedding dress, your rent for 10 days, your marriage license, and the loan you gave him for Roby's bus ticket. Now, you say that's the wedding dress. We know that's not true.
We were supposed to have the wedding February the 18th, 2013. So I had begun purchasing stuff.
So that was the wedding dress
Right,
you were going
that
to
I was
wear?
going to wear on the beach, Your Honor. The wedding was supposed to be on the beach. Your Honor, here are the items. This is the flower that was supposed to hang from the ark. Okay, I put work into that and had to buy the stuff. Even these decorations I purchased, Your Honor, for to put candles
Yeah,
in
right.
to set along the beach, Your Honor.
right, yeah.
These I purchased.
You sure
The
right.
wedding dress I purchased, Your Honor.
Now, did you know that she had made all of these investments into your
She didn't
wedding?
make no investments.
Yes, I did.
She lived on top of a thrift store.
Still,
The
I
same
had to
thrift
purchase.
store that she ran for the lady that married us. All of that
Came from the
came
thrift
from
store.
downstairs.
He's lying.
Even,
He's
everything,
lying.
everything
Stop.
from what I had on to everybody else that was in the wedding, everything came from the
From that
thrift
thrift
store.
store.
She ain't spent no money on
Your
that.
Honor. He's
Now, Mr. Minix, you are seeking $355 for a bus
Right.
ticket. Why don't you tell me about that?
You know what, Your Honor? I don't even want it. I don't want it. I just want to get this out. I just want to get this out the way.
You don't deserve it.
I just want to get this out the way. I don't
You
even
don't
want
So
deserve
you're
it.
it.
going to dismiss your counterclaim?
Yeah, dismiss that one,
Because you're not
please.
even interested in going in it.
And all of that right there, like I said, came from the
And
thrift
you're
store
lying. I
downstairs.
still had to purchase. I had to pay half.
All right.
I still had to
Where
pay
the
half.
receipts at?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. Mrs. Hodges, I think you were looking for a man. I think you are a woman of God, but a woman of God who wanted to get a guy, and the
I wasn't
chat
looking for
line was the
nobody.
way to go.
She
It
lied.
doesn't make any sense in the world to marry a guy you only knew from talking on the phone and were according to you, proposed to right after he said, "I'm homeless," and going to a crack house. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Mr. Minix, I believe you. You said you were looking for a soft place to land. You found one, got a home, and let me marry this woman, see if I can't make it
Make
work
it
out.
work. Yes, right.
You know,
That's right.
it wasn't cold, but it was... You said what it was. You said what it was. Ms. Hodges, the reason you didn't use those things is because you wanted to get married right away. You wanted to get married right when he got down there because you wanted to do the, and still be right in the eyes of God. And I do believe those things from the thrift shop.
They
I
are.
think you are in denial about a lot of what went on. I think he said, yeah, I did it. And that's what happened. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
When I get home, I'm going to take care of my kids and do what God has called me to do and get rid of this name off of me and divorce this fraud.
Since meeting Anjenette, I feel like I need to go out on and focus more on self before I try to focus on anybody else.
Roby stated that he hasn't talked to Anjenette since leaving divorce court and doesn't plan to. He says that he still plans on marrying his current fiancée sometime next year. He has not been on any prayer lines and says he just wants to focus on his future and keep the past behind him.